So the story of the gifted event in my program is far less about me and so much more about what God has done in my life and has been doing through the work that I get to do. And so if you see my videos, if you don't know what I do free haircuts for children with special needs, and I show it in a very, very raw form, the struggles and challenges that the children go through. Some of them are easy and beautiful, and then quite few of them are very challenging. And so I do that because I want to make sure people get to understand the reality of being human. And then also sharing the stories of what the families, what they go through as well, and consistently loving. So my story begins where when I was younger, I've always been a creative. I've always been someone who focused on whether drawing or painting, or break dancing or modeling and acting or spoken word poetry. Those were the things that I did throughout my life. And I always loved children. I always loved kids. And they always took to me. It was never a time where a child didn't make their way to me by accident or by his purpose. And we have a moment and we have a vibe. But in cutting hair, if you see my videos, you would think like, I love cutting hair. You would think that this is my passion. And I'm here to tell you that it's not. It's okay. It's okay. It's not. Like, and then if you see me, working with kids, and when I volunteered with kids at the time, you would think that, oh man, like he would love cutting kids' hair. I didn't. I didn't. I did the slightest bit, because if those of you who have children, you understand that kids can be a little mean sometimes and very unreasonable. And they can be jerks. It is what it is. It is what it is. But what I love about children is the fact that they're being authentically who they are, without having yet gone through the process of life to tell them to scale back their truth. And with that being said, when I first started doing kids with special needs cuts, it was a huge challenge for me, because what was going on was parents would book their kids' haircuts without letting me know ahead of time that their child had unique needs. And so all the things that I've done in my life, from the poetry, from the marketing to everything, has been, I would say, God putting me through a dojo of practicing what I would need to be present for the work that I'm doing in the present. On money to sponsor haircuts, more money start coming in. And then more kids start coming in. So when I tell you at the beginning of the story that this story is more about what God has been doing more than it is about me, that's where the tears come from. And when I say that I get to do this work, that's where the tears come from. And so to fast forward, while being present, just seeing how the community was rising up and seeing how God was moving through it, right? And I'm like, man, listen, I got to start recording these videos, because I was having so many parents that were coming to me. They were coming to me and they were always saying like, yo, we don't know what it is about you, but he has never sat this still. I don't know what it is about you, but we have never gotten through a haircut. And my thing with the kids is high fives, fist bumps, and hugs. And because that's my way of checking the temperature of how they're gonna, what space they're allowing me in and how close. And so I remember when I was younger, I would always be goofy and silly to make uncomfortable moments more comfortable. And and I had a hard time. Like I love to talk. I enjoy speaking and sharing my heart and my time, but you know, I slur sometimes. I get excited sometimes, right? But that didn't matter because God was using everything that God was prepping me that, yo, like your silliness, your goofiness, your free spirit is going to be what's going to make these kids and their families so comfortable. So again, it's like if I would have gave up on who I was and not want to be who I was a long time ago, I would never be able to be the person I am right now that was made for this moment. That's right. And I had to trust that process. And so let's fast forward some more. So I had a kid come in. He was, he had Down syndrome, and at this point, it was my second time cutting his hair. And same story from his mom. They came in on a Wednesday night, and about 6:30, about 5:30, and he walked in. He said, "Hello," and his name was Ellison. And Ellison is, if you ever see my videos, he has a personality that is large. He's like, he gets in my chair and I say, like, listen, if ever you want to stop, just say stop. And whenever you're ready to go, you just say go. He ended up turning it into a game, right? And so his mom, I asked her to record the video for me, and she got it fully in a moment of us having a real authentic moment. White kid with Down syndrome, black man with muscle. Shameless plug. Every second, I know where my money is coming from. With the kids, I gotta figure out. Okay, I'm working with this kid. I'm being very patient. I'm understanding. I'm being here. I'm consoling the families as well. So it's not just with the kids. It's the parents as well. Let them know that they're no longer in an environment where they have to apologize for how their child is responding. Right? So all the work I was doing again with poetry and creating environments for people to come together, and all the things that I was shy and insecure about having a heart and feeling more than other people had the capacity to feel and not know how to use that energy, God gave me the gift of finding a space that I can really be my true and authentic self from a place of love to a demographic that had a capacity to receive it in its fullness. You can't put a price tag on changing lives. Like, one of the major key things is, families they're like, yo, we heard about you, we saw your Instagram or social media, we kind of come in, and they get their hair cut, like, yo, you did amazing. How much is it? Like, I'm like, it's free. I've had fathers busting in tears. Mothers do the same. Because when as a parent, you're already giving a lot of yourself to raising your child. You're giving a lot to an energy that has no understanding or capacity to grapple with the gravity of what all you're doing for them not to die or to hurt themselves. You know what I'm saying? Or to not to fall or whatever the thing is, right? They have no comprehension of what that is. So you're constantly giving. So I, being used, get to put them into a position for something that they would pay any amount of money for and tell them that it's free. Let's be honest, people. Most of us, it's easier for us to give than it is for us to receive. And I'm here to tell you that's why you feel empty. You don't feel like you're at your fullness. Because you don't receive a compliment that's based in truth, in facts. We don't receive a gift that someone is giving to you in its fullness that is placed from a place for love. You are stopping the gift that God is giving to you. And so, I had to, so understand the love that I give is only the love that I received. That's all it is. I'm only giving and sharing that which I receive from God. I'm not here to be a preacher, pastor, but I am sharing my story. And I only and I had to, there was a moment where I had to get to my life and how to say, like, man, you know what? You know, we all have our moments that we are going through life. We're like, man, like, how am I gonna get through this? You trying to do everything you can to figure it out on your own. But if you could be honest on those moments that you thought you would never get past, there's no way for you to get over it or get through it, it was never from what you did. Nothing. There's always that clicks like, I could have never made that happen. So if you understand that, if you receive that in its totality, there's like no like to question God and to question your story would be ridiculous. You've been carried through so much more, a lot more, and you'll be carried through even more. And if it's not your time to be carried through it, it's not your time. But also being intentional and moving forward with a positive asset, with a positive mindset. And so we're gifted, I get to share that same principle of love, that same principle of receiving. And allow, like, yo, it's okay, because listen, you give a lot. If you don't have a space where you're giving back to yourself, you gotta speak into yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta speak your language to you. If you don't know your language for you, then how can you understand somebody speaking to you? And so I can speak the language of love on a regular basis. We can always make more money. We can't make more time.